everyone, it's Diane. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining my channel this morning for a little bit of paper crafting. We're only going to do one card today. And I'll get into some stuff later. But we had chosen for this week, I'm still working on my alphabet, my A to Z stamping project, where I'm trying to use all the stamp sets off of my bookshelf. And from the beginning of my bookshelf, I had pulled out awesomely artistic, cool designs on here. And when I was working on this card, I realized I think I had only used like 2 stamps out of it. And from the end of my bookshelf is Wildly Happy, which is a newer set. This was a Stampin' Up set, and I can't remember what year this was from. I don't know, but Awesomely Artistic is from like 2015. This is an old set. The card that I'm going to do today was inspired by a card I saw on Pinterest by Dawn Olszewski. And I did do my first card using her colors, which were Marina Mist. I actually had a Marina Mist ink stamp, believe it or not. And, what was my other color I used? Mint Macaron. So, I think we can do this again. I think I have enough ink left in the Marina Mist one. I contemplated using different colors for this. We could use Misty Moonlight, even though that is also retired now, but it might be one that's more readily available to you. Let me grab that one. I know that Marina Mist one is pretty low on ink, and I don't have a re-inker for that. And I think that'll work still well with Mint Macaron. Those are pretty together. Let's see, the original card I have on Mint Macaron cardstock. Excuse me. Yes, spring's coming and allergies are running rampant. Oh, and Ella's here to visit. Misty Moonlight. Let's see if we want to do one sort of like the opposite colors this morning. Yeah, not you. You're not going to. I'm doing it. Nope, I'm doing it all by myself. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. My greeting on here actually came from Butterfly Basics, and this was the one that Dawn had shown on her card. On Awesomely Artistic, Friend is the only font stamp that we have. I think this little rosette thing, too. I don't know if I can, well, anywho, that's not in her design, but I can add it, I guess. You know, my first one I tried to do just like hers because, of course, I was practicing and wanted it to be pretty. And since her card caught my attention, I wanted it to look like that. So now we can change it up a bit. So I'm going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I am just going to score this at 4 1/4 and then cut it at 5 1/2. And I'll have 2 card bases ready to go. So, you know, like I'm doing, you can change your colors up. I just thought with the dragonfly on there that the blues and greens probably are going to be my best bet. Because this morning I was thinking I should maybe try this in oranges and yellows or something. I was like, dragonflies I don't think are oranges and yellows. They're mostly pretty blues and greens. And then I had a piece of Very Vanilla already cut. I cut mine to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I have one for the inside as well. I'm going to lay a piece of scrap paper on my mat because I'm stamping off the end and I don't really want to get my mat all inky. No other reason than that. And we started with the big floral design, and this is one of the old stamp sets by Stampin' Up that when we put the image cling on the image sticker on the back of it. They didn't always stick to your stamp block, the acrylic blocks, very well. So a lot of mine I've just left without the image on the back, and it's okay because I can kind of figure out what I'm doing. Boy, she is being just mouthy. So I need to stamp the big floral image. Oh, there it goes. That was being a little rough today. In Misty Moonlight. Remember, when you're inking up your stamps, you're tapping in the ink. Or for this image, actually, because this is a bigger one, I would have been smarter to do my ink on my stamp and tap. I'm not squishing my ink pad into the stamp because I don't want to get ink all around this on the acrylic block and have that smear on my paper. So I'm tapping it just directly on the stamp. Boy, she's being mouthy. She'll probably come walking in here with something she shouldn't have. It's usually an indication of I'm playing with something. And we're going to stamp down in the bottom right hand corner. And there's that beautiful shadow that I just can't seem to get rid of. I don't know which light that's coming from. It's a little darker than the Marina Mist, but I think it'll be pretty. Marina Mist was a pretty color. That was actually before the time when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That was out. Okay, and then I'm going to close this just so I don't get my inks mixed up. There are some little fern stamps in this set. And not you. Oh, I got them both on the same block. With mint macaron, I'm going to add some ferns, and I will stamp full strength, and I will stamp some second generation. And on the other side, I'm going to use the smaller of the two little fern stamps. Ella, what's the matter, honey? Maybe she's mad because I won't let her on the table. I told her she's not allowed up on the table today at all. And the same thing, I'll just stamp full strength. Oh, good. And all the kids are going to wake up now for some reason. Don't know what they heard out there. And that's probably enough. I don't need to go overboard. Then we're going to do some ink blending with our blending brushes. I know on her card, this in 2015, obviously, that was before the time we were all using makeup brushes and blending brushes and stuff to spread our ink. And most of that was being done with sponges. And this is where I wasn't getting a whole lot of Marina Mist on my brush because the ink pad was just a little bit too dry for that. But now we have our lovely blending brushes. So I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight. Oh my goodness, do you see what I just did? See, that's why I should have closed it up. I put my blue brush in the green ink. Doggone it. Oh, I didn't get much on there. Lucky me. All right, well, we'll do the green one first then since I have it sitting out. I'll use my mint macaron and my blending brush and blend a little bit over the leaves. Don't you jump up here. Not allowed. No, because you'll get ink on your toes. No inky paws. If you do that, Grandma's going to put you out in the hall. Poor little girl. I'm so mean to her. Okay, so now we just have a nice little mint macaron green halo around the ferns. I'm just going to bring it up and blend it into the back of my very vanilla cardstock so that I don't have any distinct beginning and end to my color. Kind of want it to just fade in. Now I better put this away so I don't do my flowers in green. Now get my Misty Moonlight back out. Oh. Trying to think of what other color. I think Starry Sky is probably too dark. Maybe the Orchid Oasis would work. And with this one, I want to go a little heavier around my edges and then blend it up into the flower. I want the edge of my card to have, oh, see, there's a little Ella fur ball. Just a little bit more blue. Remember, you can add, you can't take it away. So just start out light and continue adding more ink instead of being too heavy-handed right at the beginning. Well, that's good. Let's get a little bit more on the edges here. Yeah, so I was checking out my statistics on my videos, which I shouldn't do, but I like to do that once in a while just to see what folks are wanting to watch, you know, which videos get the most views. Well, then I get discouraged because I have a couple of videos out there where they have over 1,000 views and maybe like 6 thumbs up. So does that mean that 994 people didn't like the video? Or, you know, I'm not quite sure. And I just get discouraged because then I'm thinking, maybe people don't even like this. Why am I bothering? It's blue ink, goofball. And then, oh, and see, now you give me more kitty cat hairs. Yeah. And I know that it's not just me, it's other YouTube creators as well. So here's a stamp in there that is just little spots. And we're going to add some of these little splatter spots to our background. Some of them will be full strength, some of them stamped off again. And so anyways, then you just start thinking, you know, I'm going to make the cards anyway. It's not like we're getting anything for doing this. We're just sharing ideas and hopefully some inspiration. So if you like the videos, please, you know, give a little thumbs up. A comment here or there isn't going to be a bad thing. It'd be really appreciated if it's a nice comment, because heaven knows if we have bad things to say, we're all eager to throw that out there, right? But, yeah, for those of you who have commented on any of my videos and given me some encouragement and inspiration, I do thank you very, very much. All right. So off my little soapbox now, and I'm not going to look at my statistics on my videos anymore because they just make me sad. One of the things that Dawn did on her card, and we have done this in the past, and I have to be ready here because I'll mute you quickly when I go to heat set this, is when we add the dragonfly, her card suggested that we heat emboss it in clear. Oh, and I did learn the hard way off of my first card to make sure that because we have ink blended on here, this card is actually very wet with ink. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's a lot of ink still soaking into the paper. And when I sprinkled, that made it worse. And when I sprinkled the clear embossing powder on there, it just stuck to everything. So, I'm going to mute this for a second and dry this a little bit with my heat gun and make sure that my ink on here is pretty well set so that I don't end up getting embossing powder all over everything. So, hold on one second. Okay, now if you let your card panel set so that your ink was dry, you don't have to do that. And we can test and see if it's dry just by sprinkling a little bit of embossing powder on here. I want to put a lot. And if it, off the table, little woman, that's pretty good. There's a little bit on there, but not like yesterday. You get down, or Grandma is going to put you outside. Go on, get down. Let me get my little rag down here and wipe that off. Because now I'm going to stamp my dragonfly in the Misty Moonlight. Ella, yeah, you, get down. Not allowed up on the table. Oh, she's coming. She's coming behind the camera. You're going to get knocked around like an earthquake. Oh, goodness. I was trying to be nice and let you up here to visit with everybody, but not to be so, huh? Nope. Out you go. Go on. Grandma will get you in a couple minutes. Oh, kids, what are you going to do with them, right? Okay. Back to our dragonfly. Let's stamp him on here. I'm stamping in Misty Moonlight. I'm going to add clear embossing powder over top of my Misty Moonlight. Oh, I got that a little high. I hope I left room for my greeting. Got a little carried away there. Oh, that's not too bad at all. Much better than my first time around. Oh, see? Lesson learned, right? Now I'll dump my powder back into my little pot here. And my embossing powder that I'm using, I wanted it to go in, not just on the lid. This is a la mode by Hampton Art. Don't know if you can still get it. I will show you the container. And the reason that I use this is because embossing powder lasts a long time. Doesn't really take a whole lot. And this is 4 ounces. I've had this for probably 10 years. Make sure that's off of there. And I'm going to mute you again for another second while I heat emboss the dragonfly. Okay, were you able to see when that went shiny on there a little bit? Now we'll let that cool while I figure out if I've left enough room for my greeting. Oh, and I can clean my dragonfly off. So when you're out there watching your favorite YouTube crafters, you know, if you're like me, like I watch a lot of YouTube stuff at night or in the middle of the morning because I'm one of those folks, like many, who don't always sleep the whole night through. And I would love to just go in my craft room and start crafting away. But I don't think hubby would like that because my craft room is right beside the bedroom. He might get just a little bit irritated if I was over here with my heat gun and stamping and cutting and chomping and whatever. So anyways, I don't. I watch other videos and try to be inspired. And I'm going to stamp my greeting in Misty Moonlight. I think it's going to fit up here. Close, close. But I think I'll make it. So anyways, yeah, I try to at least give them a thumbs up. I don't always comment because I'm half asleep sometimes, but I do try to give a thumbs up. And if it's not something that I was looking for, I certainly don't tell them that they're not what I was looking to watch, or that I don't like their video, or they should have used the pink paper instead of the purple paper, or whatever, because it's not my video. It's not my project. And if I want to make it with the pink paper, I should just go do it my own self. Sending wishes your way. Yeah, so I think here today it's supposed to get up like in the 50s. Let me see, how straight is that? Not very. I'm gonna trim my front panel down a little bit here. Oh, and then I have to ink it a bit. That's okay. I might have enough left on my brush, but I want to straighten that out. I got kind of crooked, and then we'll finish up our dragonfly. Yeah, that's just a little crooked. So let's just try to. And I have, oh, I should have changed my blade. I forgot. I've shared this with you before too. If you happen to stamp crooked and you want, oh, good cut, goofball. Make sure that you're trimming all 4 sides so that your panels stay nice and even looking. There we go. Not really losing anything size-wise there, but I did lose my blue edges. So take my blue brush and just go, where's my scrap paper? Go back around that a little bit and give it the blue edge that I wanted it to have. Ooh, that was a bad move. Yes, it was. Got that blended in quick enough though, thank goodness. All right. Now we have our little embossed dragonfly done in Misty Moonlight. I'm going to use my mint macaron marker, and I'm going to fill in some of those little spaces where the dragonfly wings have like empty holes, or I mean, it's meant to be that way. Remember, this is awesomely artistic. So it's meant to look a little artsy. We're going to add, I hear you. And then because we have used our clear embossing powder on here, just a little over the body. We can use our cloth and wipe that off just like when we do our emboss resist. And it's going to take the green back off of where it's embossed clear and just leave it in those little holes in between. So our dragonfly, and I don't know if you can see it on there real well, has a little bit of green and blue in his wings. I like it. I think it's a pretty stamp set. I really do. I'm going to see what this rosette does before we finish up. Oh. Because obviously, there's one I haven't used out of this set. Yeah, I have the other stamp set sitting here. It is, put my flowers away. It is the Wildly Happy one. I have all my paper cut out, and if I'm not feeling sorry for myself tomorrow, is that what it is, maybe? You know, I mean, I've been doing videos for a long time, man, and I just feel like they're not going anywhere. So, I mean, I've already stopped Ooh, that's pretty. I've already stopped as a demonstrator. And my next step probably is going to be to stop my web page. And I don't know. I know there's a lot of YouTube people out there doing stuff, but oh well. My prayer practice that I've been doing through Lent here has been a lot about perseverance, which did really was very good for me as far as when I went. I had some doubts about some volunteer work I was doing. I just didn't know if it was being meaningful. I'm going to use double-sided tape on the back of this because since I have heat embossed it, it's a little bit warped. And I think the double-sided tape is going to help it to lay down much flatter. So anyways, I prayed about whether I should keep doing that or not. Oh, and I got to tie the ribbon around it. Goofball. Before I put my tape on. This is some mint macaron lacy ribbon. This is like really old. Anyways, after praying about it, there were a couple passages during my prayer readings that I've been listening to about perseverance. So I was like, okay, that must be God answer my prayer, right? He's like saying, persevere and don't give up yet. Somebody is listening out there and they're enjoying it. So I did it, and it did pay off because I think I'm at a point now where I have found topics that my folks are interested in listening to, or stories that they're interested in, and I've gotten more comfortable with them. They're more comfortable with me. So yeah, it worked out. And so I know He was answering my prayer there. And then I'm thinking, so was that perseverance message really about the reading part, or is it about my card making? Do I persevere in this card making venture? Because, well, at least in the sharing part of it. I mean, I still love my paper crafts. When I'm done with this, I want to go, I got to do my Alice in Wonderland journal cover. I need to get that one put together. The shop that allows me to have my stuff in there for sale is having an Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter thing coming up. And so I want to have my journal done and ready for the shop for that event, because what perfect timing, right? Yeah, so I gotta get that finished. Not very straight, is it? No, it's not. Using double-sided tape like this also helps hold down whatever you might be wrapping around your panel, whether it's twine or ribbon or... So this one's going to be a little bit, I mean, it'll squish down to fit in an envelope because this is real soft, but that bow on the front of it does make it a little bit bulkier. Not weightier, so you could still send this in the mail very easily without extra postage being required. I was also hoping that by only doing one card, it's going to make this video much shorter, and maybe that's the appeal. Maybe because, you know, if they get longer than a half an hour or 40 minutes or something, maybe people were thinking it's real involved. And it's not. I just tend to ramble on, or I screw up and I have to start all over again. We've watched that how many times? Yeah, and if you missed last week's video, and I think this is what did the whole thing. When I went back and checked the video, there are no comments. None. And so last week on my video, I said that I wanted to share some of my craft products because I have a bunch. And so I thought I would do a giveaway. And all you had to do was like the video. I can't get this off. Like the video, share it, And let me know in the comments, you know, are you a journal maker or a card maker, and like what kind of products you wish you had more of in your stash. And then whoever the winner was, I would be able to adapt the craft items a little bit easier for them. You know, give them maybe something that they wish they had more of. Not one person has responded, and it's not a gimmick. You know, I just have a lot of stuff, and I would like to share that. So if you are interested in getting some free crafty stuff sent to you just as a gift, go back and watch last week's video, the February 27th one. And March 17th, I'm going to take that video, and if anybody's commented by then, I'm going to pick somebody and send them some craft supplies. I mean, I have some brand new stamp sets. I have cardstock and ink and lots of things from when I was being a demonstrator, things that I haven't used. And what better way to enjoy them but to share them with people who would use them, right? Great. So, there is no gimmick. And then I just added some clear basic rhinestones. Another little one. Oh, that's a little one. And there we are. So that's just using awesomely artistic. I was saying it backwards. And the original one with, what was that blue called? Marina Mist. The old Marina Mist and Mint Macaron. And the more recently retired Misty Moonlight and Mint Macaron. So this one's a little bit of a deeper blue. Both very pretty. I like this card. But you know me, I like ink blending anyways. I love my blending brushes. Alright guys, that's it. Keeping the video short, and hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a little bit peppier about this, and I'll just pop back on and make another video with the little critters from the Wildly Happy, because I want to do one with the elephants. I don't think I used the elephants yet. I know I used the fox. Oh, maybe I did. I did use the fox, but I think they're adorable. So have a wonderful week. If I don't get back on there, I'll just save that for next week and have it on Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.